Live from the Slackers Sports Bar Studios, this is In the Building with Mike Taylor and Rudy J.
Oh, look at that. I'm looking forward. Every day I look more and more forward to doing this show, man. Good to see y'all, man.
Good to see y'all.
What you drinking? Tea?
Coffee.
Coffee at 9:30 at night.
Dude.
You got a hot date when the show's over?
3 doubles in a row kicked my ass. 3 of them. 10 to 9, 10 to 9, 10 to 9. Guess what?
Right.
Next Monday, it'll be all worth it.
Oh, payday?
Oh, look.
Welcome.
Miss always right. This is my wife's coffee cup. So all y'all thinking about getting married, this is the first rule.
Yeah, it generally goes better if you abide by rule number 1, man. That's the golden rule right there, is it not?
But it shouldn't be happy wife, happy life. It should be happy spouse, happy house. Because we got to be happy too.
Right. Yeah. I'd say happy penis, marriage goes seamless. We never get nothing, man. How come the man always gets shit on in these things? It's always about pleasing her ass. Why can't we just please us? 50-50, equal. Why can't it be that? All this make it up for misogyny bullshit gets on my nerves. It's like the great Bill Maher always says, it's like, men make $2 more an extra an hour than women do. That's sexist. No, it's not. You know why we make more money than they do an hour for the same job? Because if someone breaks in your house tonight, her ass ain't getting up to go check it. You are.
No.
If y'all are on a cruise and that shit's going down to the bottom of the Caribbean, her and the babies get on the dinghy. Rudy J, good luck. You staying on the boat. That's why we make $2 more an hour.
No. When about 10 years ago, when bats invaded my chimney and invaded my house,
Did she go sweep them out? Yeah, you were solo.
No, I was solo. Her and my daughter, my teenager now, they were upstairs. I was like, come down here. I got one of them. No, I can't.
which is fine. That's okay.
That's fine. That's a part of it.
Welcome into this man show that's called In the Building for men, damn it. The fellows are back home in the friendly confines. I am once again emanating this week from Savannah, Georgia, in the middle of big southern John plantation country. A fine, ancient city, an antebellum town, Savannah, Georgia. So I'm here with Nina. She's on a work trip with a bunch of the people she works with. I just got to tag along to be her plus one, and I'm enjoying myself. Although I attended all of the meetings and just kind of was a fly on the wall today. It was pretty cool, I got to admit. So, I thought about just like skipping it out and like walking around the town and stuff. But, man, I wanted to be around these guys. So Nina works with a bunch of real estate moguls. She works for land developers and real estate buyers and sellers and investors. And I mean, these cats all have fit. Some of these guys that I met today, I met a guy today who owns 17 different businesses, Rudy, 17. And as a small business owner, which I am now become with you guys, even though I didn't understand half of what the hell they were talking about, it's a bunch of land and development and real estate and, investment talk. It's kind of like if someone who'd never watched football in their life had to sit in on a meeting between like Bill Walsh explaining the West Coast offense to, like Bill Parcells, you'd be half lost. That's when it comes to real estate. I'm half lost in a room full of real estate moguls. But it was interesting because a lot of it was like how to run a business, how to build a business, strategies, how to be ruthless, how to cut corners when you need to, how to knowing when to invest and not cut corners and spend more money. It was very enlightening, very interesting, and I'm enjoying my time, man. It's been great. It's been very cool. I'm learning how to run a business, essentially.
Well, the thing about it is you should never be the richest person in the room. If you are, you're in the wrong room.
Sometimes that wasn't me today.
What I'm saying is you're in the room with people you need to be in the room with. Sometimes you got to be around people like that so you can know, oh shit, it's possible. I'm a firm believer in that shit. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, I'm no high snooty tooty dude, but every now and then I want to be in some rooms with people that are making moves to kind of, sometimes you need to kick in the ass. You get comfortable, like, oh, bills are paid, we're good. And then you get around somebody that owns 17 businesses and can do whatever he wants to when he wants to. You're like, okay, let me get to 8 businesses. Let me get to 9. Like, it's good. It's good to be in those rooms because they say you hang with 5 broke people, you'll be the 6th. So there's nothing wrong with that. That's a good experience.
Had dinner tonight with a couple of guys, with Nina, of course, but one of the guys I happened to sit next to a guy called Broderick, and he's from Houston. And Broderick, he went to the Naval, he went to the Army, he went to West Point. He's an Army man and was a career Army guy, got out, retired from the Army, got into finance, and it totally fell. It failed. And so he's like, well, what do I do now? Literally, the guy's in his 30s, and he had to move back in with his mom for like a year. But he had a finance background. And decided, you know what? I know money. And Texas has got some real estate. And he invested in the real estate business in Texas. In 15, 16 years, he's in his early 50s now. 15, 16 years later, this guy now owns, he can't even keep up with how much land he owns. He builds subdivisions he don't build houses, he builds subdivisions on his own.
Damn. I love it.
He owns a ranch in Oklahoma. He's got over 950 heads of cattle. An African American West Point grad, Texas land and cattle man today. That's who I had dinner with tonight. These are the people I need to be hanging out with more to help our little company get where we need to go, man. Just getting tips and hanging out with these guys and seeing how they interact, man. You always talk about that generational wealth that people chase. Yeah, man. So I'm on vacation kind of, but it's also been a big learning experience hanging out with men that own multiple businesses that, I mean, we talking, millions of dollars every day coming and going in and out of their businesses and their companies. And it was amazing to be a fly on that wall today. So I'm having a good time, man, having a good time. And the town's beautiful. It's a great little city. Nina and I were able to get out.
You were just all business, or
it was all business during the day because I wanted to. And Nina told me, you ain't got to come in here. I'm like, no, I want to. Let me go to because there's the morning session, They take a lunch break and they come back for the afternoon session. I was going to go to the morning session, then I was just going to go walking around the city. But man, I wanted to go back to that afternoon session. So when that was over, Nina and I had a chance to do some exploring here in Savannah. It's a beautiful antebellum, very old school, got the mossy trees in this part of the country. It looks like a Civil War country, a town in a lot of ways, but it's also a very bohemian town. A lot of hippies here, very artsy. It's a very blue town. Not that I require a blue town, but it's very have you been to Boulder, Colorado ever?
I loved Boulder.
It's very Boulder. But except Boulder's in the mountains, this here is near the swamps, and it's along a river that leads into the Atlantic Ocean. And it's got an amazing history. This is the oldest town in the entire state of Georgia. It was founded in 1733. And matter of fact, it's a massive, one of the hugest Revolutionary War battles was fought not far from here. This is a town that's known for its inclusion. Matter of fact, so a lot of colonials that lived in here during the 1770s during the war with England actually brought in Haitian slaves, and they cut a deal: if you'll fight for us against England, you're granted freedom. And so there's an amazing African American population here in this town, and their descendants are Haitian. And so you throw in the Haitian aspect, the Revolutionary War aspect. This was a major gangster town during Prohibition in the 20s because we're right along a huge river here that leads out into the Atlantic. This was one of the major ports for shipping illegal booze into the country during Prohibition in the 20s. And so basically every street here in the little inner city part where we're staying, we're in the heart of the city here. There's hundreds and hundreds of underground old bars and a lot of abandoned, you walk downstairs and they lead to nowhere because they boarded it up. But back in the 20s, this town was full of speakeasies, and bootleggers ran this town in the 20s. It's a really, really cool town here tucked away in the piney woods of northeast Georgia. It's awesome.
It's funny how marijuana is taking the same route as alcohol did, for the longest. Yeah, for the longest, marijuana. Oh my God, he had a dime bag. Arrest him. Oh my God, he had a pound of weed coming from Dallas. Right. Arrest him.
Yeah, sure.
You get a pound. You get a pound. You know what
I mean? Right. Yeah, and Jimbo's right. Jimbo's in here. This was a major thoroughfare of the Underground Railroad because of the access to water. Trying to get slaves into this part of Georgia so they can get them on boats and get them up into Boston and New York and Washington, D.C. to get them out of the South because they were running away from fucking plantations and stuff. This is a badass little city. I've only been here a day and a half, and over the next couple of days I'll have a chance to get out and explore more. So anyway, I'm in Savannah, Georgia. I've never been to this part of the country, and I'm a history buff. I'm a travel nerd. And so being in a town like this with this much history for the first time, I'm just super stoked to be here and soaking it in. But anyway, still working though. So here we go. It's in the building. Jump in here with a super chat if you want to. You can tip us. If you tip us, you're guaranteed to get your post read. You can also buy us coffees. LG's already linked the Buy Me a Coffee link, so click on that and follow.
We got a few already.
Follow the links, and you can buy us some coffees here. Roshi's back in here with $5. Thank you, Roshi. Spurs will win 40+. Castle for Rookie of the Year. Cowboy fans, go down with your ship. Spurs don't need part-time fans. Yeah, we got a Spurs game tomorrow night, man. My dad and my brother have tickets to the game up in Dallas. They're going to go see the Spurs take on their beloved Mavs. I am jealous. My dad was texting. Had I not been here in Savannah, I would have been probably driving up to Dallas today to go to the game tomorrow night with my dad and brother, but that's okay. They'll send some pictures and some videos and stuff, and I'll be able to post them. We can share them here online. So we got Spurs. It's funny. The whole damn league has opened up except for us, it seems like, because we have the TNT game. We get Wemby, we get TNT broadcast.
The Wemby effect. The Wemby effect, baby.
Yeah, man. And thank God TNT's back still doing basketball. It was scary there for a minute.
One more year, though.
Yeah, at least. We'll see how it goes, man. So that's good. So Spurs and Mavs tomorrow night on the opener,
but
on TNT.
I want to say Shaq and Chuck. I don't think either of them had Wemby in their top 20. Kenny did. Kenny had Wemby like 13. They did their like top, I don't know, 50, 100 players, and neither Shaq or Chuck had Wemby in the top 20. But
yeah, Kenny did. Yeah, I know ESPN had him at 11th in their annual preseason player rankings. I don't think he's top 20 yet. I mean, he's got to show more consistently. Yeah, I do. I mean, I love him. I don't want to be biased here. You know, I love the man. You know, I've defended him when he was being criticized last year when they went through that 18-game losing streak or whatever it was. He was a force on defense. He got better and better as the season went on offense and became a force. And for the record, 8 of their losses he didn't play in. Just saying, because he had a minutes restriction. And because, you know, he's thin and he's a kid and he never played that many games before, but now he's added 25 pounds of muscle and he wants to play 70+ games this year without all the games. You don't want to do that. Remember, we tweaked the ankle and they totally fudged it last year. He wound up missing way more games than he should have, but they were being uber cautious. They were getting their ass kicked. Yeah, they were losing. And they were protecting him, and that's okay because he's the face of the franchise, and he's the keys to the next $1 billion they make as a franchise, and I get it. But he wants to play 70+ games this year, and I don't see why he shouldn't or can't. So I'm excited for the NBA season for the Spurs.
Remember during the time when baseball was having their issues, and if a guy added 25 pounds of muscle, he was automatically cheating and using this and that. It's crazy how far we've come to where it's like, okay, well, technology and nutritionists and everything, no big deal that somebody with that frame can add 25 pounds of muscle.
Yes, sir.
In an off season.
Back the old-fashioned way.
Yeah, the early 2000s. Oh, he's juiced up.
Yeah.
All right.
He did it the old-fashioned way, Rudy. He hit the weight room, and he's so tall and skinny you can't even see the 25 pounds. They say he's gained 25. You can't see it because he's so damn tall,
right?
And he's so dang thin. So yeah, no, I mean I'm having a good day, man. I'm in a little bohemian town with a cool history, and the Spurs play tomorrow night, and I'll be ready to get back home by the end of the week. But having a good time and. Welcome. It's in the building. It's my last show of the night. Y'all are going to have to handle it without me tomorrow night. We'll be at Slackers tomorrow. Tell them what's going on tomorrow night. I hope Frank's not mad at me. I'm out of town. I'm on business. I'm networking in the building. Let's go with that. I'm networking for our little company, hopefully. And but tomorrow night, Rudy and LG will hold it down. I'm happy to join for a segment or two if I can. LG said it's going to be kind of a pain in the ass.
It won't. I don't think we'll be. Ray can't see you, or I don't know.
That's unfortunate.
Whatever the case may be, this isn't about this ain't about us as much as it's about a great. Well, as much as it's about a great cause, and that is October. Obviously, is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. We all know somebody that's been affected. So even if it's not, Mike's not there, we're not there, and the building's not there. Go out to Slackers North Star. LG and I will be there, but come out and donate to a great cause. Because if you haven't been affected by it, unfortunately, at some point, you probably will. I had a good buddy of mine that lost his wife to breast cancer just last year.
Oh, no.
No, this was like the year and a half ago. So I've had family members that dealt with breast cancer, family member dealing with it. So it's a cause near and dear to my heart. It's a cause near and dear to all the world. So Slackers does their part every year. This is an annual event. Come out and support. And you see I got my pink on today. Come out and support a great cause, Toss for Tatas, special pink cocktails, vendor giveaways, and more. Again, this is Slackers' annual event, Slackers North Star, please come out tomorrow between 5 and 7 or whenever you can. Get a couple drinks, get some food, support the vendors, and donate to a cause that affects every household in the world.
Thank you to Slackers, official studio sponsor of In the Building. Whether our studio's in Savannah, Georgia, or at an actual Slackers North Star Mall location, manana. All right, had big baseball death. I was saddened to hear.
This is close to home. He passed through the tone.
He sure did. Former San Antonio Mission, the former Dodgers great Fernando Valenzuela. I didn't even realize this. Maybe I missed it. I was busy.
He's been sick though. He's been sick.
That's what I had heard. He'd been ill. So, and I read about this morning. I knew he had been in the hospital, but I didn't realize it was this bad. But the great Fernando Valenzuela, the Mexican-born phenom who inspired Fernando Mania in the summer of 1981 in L.A., won the Cy Young Award as a rookie in 81, passed away in L.A. at the age of 63. This comes 2 days before Game 1 of the World Series, in which the Dodgers will take on the Yankees. Crazy.
Dodgers probably going to win now.
Oh, because they're hyped up. So
the ghost of Fernando.
Yeah, 17 seasons in the big league, and when he retired, he became a Spanish broadcaster. Did Dodgers games in Spanish for a long time, and then had to step away from right before the start of the playoffs. He had to step away from doing games because he had to, quote, focus on his health. And when he said that, when he announced he was unable to do any games a couple of 3 weeks ago, that people got all super worried because Fernando, for younger baseball fans who speak Spanish, he was known as the Spanish voice of the Dodgers, as their analyst. Kind of the Sean Elliott on Spanish radio for the Dodgers. And a couple 3 weeks ago, had to step away to focus on his health. And when that happened, you figured that something was bad going on with him. And so he's passed away at the age of 63, way too young. And, had just had a very good, solid 17-year career. Lots of celebrities.
Damn, that long?
Yeah, 17 years in the big leagues. Yeah.
Wow.
He remains among the Dodgers leaders in wins and strikeouts and innings and starts and complete games and shutouts and on down the line. Lots of celebrities loved him. Lots of Spanish celebrities in the L.A. area loved him. And sad time in Dodgerville as the great Fernando Valenzuela passes away at the way too age of 63. So that's unfortunate. Very unfortunate. All right. So jump in here with a chat if y'all want to. Drew Show is he's such a hard ass. I had to cuss him out the other night.
For $50.
Don't be too somber about Fernando. Everybody's got to go at some point, but he lived a life, and hey, pull one up for Fernando, and let's hope that he keeps breathing through his eyes. Okay. He didn't breathe through his eyelids. That was Nuke LaLoosh and Bull Durham. Now, he did look at the heavens before he threw a pitch.
Jeez. Paletta, man, if you saw the 30 for 30 on him, the guy grew up on a dirt floor. Congrats on a great life. Yes, Robbie Mines, you're right. That is a huge watch for me. I will be rooting against the Hawks every night.
That's our lottery pick right there.
Yep, barely beat the shitty Nets tonight.
That's unfortunate.
They did.
Damn it. All right, Rudy needs to get his NBA you need to get your Super Bowl. You need to get your NBA championship picks now that the season has started. Celtics repeat?
Yes.
Or nah. Yes.
They're too complete. They're too young. That coach of theirs has some pop in him as far as just his mentality, just his approach with the team. Like, he's big on he said the other day, nothing. They were asking him about the pressure. He was like, none of y'all are going to be invited to my funeral. He was like, nothing y'all say affects us.
He's such a weirdo.
He's different. He has a lot of pop. He has a lot of pop in him. He has some pop in him in the sense of they're not going to allow. Because keep in mind, Jason Tatum was under fire. Jaylen Brown, because of some of his beliefs, have been under fire. He doesn't let any of that infiltrate his locker room. It's all about them, and who cares what we say? We don't know shit. Y'all don't know basketball. If you did, you'd be here. He's that type of guy. Jason Tatum, because of Steve Kerr, because he didn't win the finals MVP, because Steve Kerr elected to bench him the entire Olympics, which we can kill Steve Kerr all we want for that, but they won the gold. That's the goal, is to win the gold. But Jason Tatum's on the revenge tour. They play defense. They play together. Barring injury, the Celtics repeat. They're just really, really good, and they play the right way. I hate to be cliche, but that's just who they are. It's a great team. And they got Drew Holiday can give you 30, Derek White can give you 30, Porzingis can give you 30, Jaylen, Jason. They're too good, too deep. I don't see anybody beating the Celtics. They might have their little run right now. They may win 2 out of the next 3 or 4.
Mm-hmm. Well, in the NFL, it's hard to think that anybody but the damn Kansas City Chiefs are going to win the Super Bowl. As today, they send a 5th-round draft pick for DeAndre Hopkins, because that's what they needed, another really great player on offense. Funny enough, their offense has struggled a lot this season at 6-0 or whatever they are, 7 or 6-0. Yeah, 7-0 and struggling on offense.
6.
Yeah,
they already had a bye, 6-0.
Struggling on offense, forced to be buyers at the trade deadline, and they trade for freaking DeAndre Hopkins. Good for D-Hop. I like that dude.
He's not in his prime anymore, but with Patrick Mahomes and with Andy Reid's genius and Travis Kelce.
Yep.
Again, everyone's playing for second. I hate to be that
double team. Makes it harder to double team Xavier Worthy. It's a good move.
And you know what? Because I like winners, depending on who the winner is. I wouldn't mind seeing the first NFL three-peat. Now, unless there's one that happened with the Green Bay Packers in the 1940s or 50s that I missed. I think if they win it this year, this would be the first three-peat in NFL history. I know Troy came up short, Montana, going down the line of guys, Brady, going down the line of guys who've gone back-to-back. I wouldn't mind seeing them three-peat because that makes them more the villain. We need a villain. That's why I'm worried about LeBron leaving. Because whenever LeBron leaves, who are we going to hate? I think it may be Luka, but Luka needs to win if we're going to really hate him. Right. So we need a villain in the NFL. The Cowboys are, but that's just because of the Cowboy fans. It has nothing to do with winning. So I wouldn't mind seeing them three-peat so we can get some real hate in here.
Yeah, Dallas needs to win a championship to piss a bunch of people off that don't want to see them win one. And Luka's not out there in the public as much. You don't see much from him off the court. I mean, I don't see
Luka at all.
I don't know anything about his personal life. Yeah, you got to see guys like the guys that get hated are guys that post on Twitter a lot. You find out things they do. It's a little. You're right. Who will be the next kind of like boogeyman
in the NBA? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
But man. the Chiefs are creeping that way because it feels like. If I thought the NFL and the NBA was really rigged, I wouldn't watch it. It's like wrestling. I hate people that say it's rigged, but you watch every week. Why are you watching something that's rigged? While I don't think it's rigged, I do feel like the Chiefs get the benefit of the doubt a lot, and people are starting to see it, and people are starting to post it, and it's become a trend on social media to say, yeah, of course the Chiefs won. Of course they got a pass interference call when they threw the interception. So they're creeping toward, and then Travis Kelce being with Swift and Swift endorsing Kamala. They're creeping toward that villain role that all sports need. Boxing ain't been the same since Floyd Mayweather left. Floyd was the villain. Every sport needs a villain. In the NFL, I don't feel has one, but the Chiefs are getting there. And if we can get a few more bad calls in their favor and they go three-peat, by golly, we got us a villain. And that's what I like.
Well, I don't know if there's an individual that's hated in the NFL, but I think as far as the NFL is concerned, and you and I have talked about this a little bit lately, and last night we did too, we're getting closer to the point now where, and the Cowboys have always had a lot of people that don't like them. It's America's team. Eagles fans hate them. A lot of people hate the Cowboys, but the disrespect and the maybe even indifference now toward the Cowboys is starting to peak. I mentioned this last night. Finally, somebody other than me and a few others in the media are finally starting to realize, and I've known this for years, but it seems like the whole world now realize what an effing joke the Jones family is, and its hold on the Cowboys, its power in the NFL. You talk about all hat, no cattle. Jerry Jones has $12 billion, but that's all he's got. He's got no credibility. He has no respect. He has no victories that matter in 3 decades. All he has is the money. And finally, on a national level, people are starting to realize that he's a big, blue, empty-ass suit. He has now reached where, Al Davis was kind of a joke there the last 5 years of his life.
He was a joke, but we hated Al, but he was a joke.
Jerry's not quite joke, but it's almost just like, ugh, he's just gross. He's a gross dude, but it's about to become a fucking joke here, honestly. And ESPN had a long piece today. I've only had time to read half of it. I've been hanging out with people that I want to hang out with all day, not fucking Jerry Jones. I'll finish the reading when I get done tonight, but ESPN has a long piece today on the so many people that have taken the tour at the Star where the Cowboys practice. And
during work days,
during practices, there are tours that are so invasive up there in Frisco that players have to stop on their way to the fucking locker room to let tours go by. Oh, excuse me. And now, Dalton Schultz, of course, they always talk shit when they leave because he didn't say nothing when he was there. Schultz has come out and said, now he's in Houston, that it was a fucking joke, called the whole thing a zoo, and a total distraction. So this year, with the lack of personnel moves, they're running out the worst running back tandem they've ever run out ever in the history of the franchise, which I noted in training camp. You compound that with landing the stupid helicopter on the field during practice, the fun baby going to court trying to shut her up because you don't want to own her. You don't want to own your fatherhood. The fucking around with Dak's contract, screwing CD over, which hurt the team, because they wound up giving CeeDee Lamb every cent he asked for, but you make the guy miss training camp to punish him. What you did was you hurt the team because he lost his chemistry with Dak. You knew the whole time you're going to give Dak and CeeDee their money. You give their money to them the week of the first fucking game. The whole season's a joke. Worst defense in the league at home, giving up 40-plus points 3 times already. And now finally, the vitriol's not as much for McCarthy or Dak or Micah Parsons. Finally, thank God, it's about time. The football world realizes that finally, that what you and I have known for a decade, that the Jones family are the problem. And it don't matter who replaces Mike McCarthy. It don't matter who the next quarterback is. It don't matter who the next edge rusher is, because we've all had good ones in the past. The only constant for the Dallas Cowboys is what holds them back, and that's those idiots in that monarchy sitch. I hung out with a bunch of rich millionaires today, all of them football fans. Oh, you do a podcast? Cool. I got guys from – I hung out today with a guy from Indianapolis, got guys from Houston, guys from Chicago, guys from Arkansas, hanging out with guys from Alabama. And it's just like, oh, you cover – Lee, I'll talk about the Cowboys? Okay. These people that live in other cities that have NFL teams, they don't have the problems that clickbait fans have, because we're stuck in a monarchy here. It's a monarchy.
I mean, it's look, in the piece, I read most of the pieces you did. Mm-hmm. All teams do this, but not all teams do it like the piece was talking about it's a Wednesday, and these people are walking by meeting rooms, players, coaches, coaches. Now they're told don't take pictures, don't talk to them unless they come up to you. And J-Ron Curse, who was a part of the Cowboys, who's gone now, he said, look, it's not the reason why we kept coming up short, but it doesn't equate to winning, was the quote. It doesn't equate to winning. It's just weird. And again, now it's a lot of money. They make, in the piece, they said they make $10 million a year off of tours alone. That's a lot of money, but not for Jerry Jones to disrupt things. Why are you disrupting things for $10 million when you're going to, okay, so you cleared $990 billion. You know what I mean? Instead of the full billion. Like, again, I get it. And again, I don't want it to go away because that's somebody's job to put that. That's a lot of jobs. I don't want those people out of work. But there's a way to do it that puts the players and the coaching in the mindset that winning is first. When you're doing this stuff and it's a Wednesday is important because Tuesdays are mandatory off. Wednesdays are important to NFL teams. And when you're going meeting room to meeting room, weight room, locker room, and Mike, Rudy, and LG are walking around like this, oh, there's Micah. And I feel sorry for the 10-year-old because the 10-year-old getting to see the tour. I'm not trying to hate on him.
No shit, get his little punk ass out of here.
Yeah, but just put yourselves in the mind state that when we walk through these doors, it's about winning football games. And that's what Curse was saying. Like, it's not the reasons Green Bay's curb stomped them, but how they do things don't equate to winning.
You can't work out without idiot slapdicks on a tour coming over and knocking on the window. It's insane. They don't care about winning. And that's the thing that I've tried to preach for 20 years on my radio shows and now with you in our show is that there's this bullshit perception that Jerry will do whatever it takes to win and he's super passionate, and he's not. He will not do what it takes to win. I hung out with 18 millionaires today. These are people that do whatever they have to do to win. This guy does not do whatever it takes to win. This guy is a marketer. He wound up with enough money and credit to buy the Cowboys.
Maybe the best one. Maybe the best one ever.
Well, when your goal is to win Super Bowls, though, and you market so much that it hurts the team every year, how great's your marketing? We ain't trying to sell shoes. We're trying to win the Super Bowl. His marketing gets in the way of winning, though. So it's dysfunctional. It's great marketing, but it's dysfunctional great marketing. That makes sense? It's dysfunctional. Ruben's in here at $4.99. What's the use of having $1 billion franchise if the product that you've presented every year for 30 years has been dog shit? Yeah, I don't give a shit about the money. I hate the fact, and he brags about that. When he threatened RJ Choppy last week. I give a shit how much money. I don't care if he's worth $50 billion. I don't care if he's got Elon Musk money. There's the salary cap. You can take your billions of dollars and shove it up your yin-yang because they all have the same damn pot. Whether you are, who's the poorest owner? Amir Khan, the tire guy that owns the Jaguars. So from Amir Khan, who's probably only worth about $2 billion, the poor owner, to Jerry, it ain't nothing that Amir Khan can't do with his $2 billion that Jerry can do with his $12 billion because everybody's got a goddamn salary cap. So I'm so tired of hearing about what a great businessman he is. Who gives a shit? I need a football man to lead the clickbaits back to glory. That's what I need. It's bullshit. It's just he's the most overrated P.T. Barnum ass snake oil salesman. And the things that he brags about are not the things that win football games. His marketing and his money, he can take that, shove it up his ass. He don't win. That's what his fans want to do. Fans want to win. I like the marketing's great. I have fun, fun. Buy the shirts, have the fun, whatever. But at some point, you got to win, and they don't ever do it. And it starts at the top because of the bullshit culture that their company has. And the other thing is, they were already America's team, and I've said this too. And it's pissed. This is another thing chaps my ass. He didn't make them America's team. He bought America's team. And if the Joneses all sold the team tonight to Michael Dell or another Indian tire mogul, they're still going to be America's team. So miss me with all that bullshit that Jerry turned the Cowboys into this big thing. the great Tex Schramm turned them into America's team in the 70s. And if the Joneses all got killed tonight and the club got taken over by, I don't know, Rudy Johnson, I don't give a shit. It's a hypothetical. They're still going to be the highest rated team. That ain't got nothing to do with Jerry Jones. Nothing.
No.
Nothing. Pisses me off. Hut. and now all of a sudden the kicker can't go to practice because how Cowboys is that? Brandon Aubrey had to miss kick at practice today because he has been selected for a jury trial.
Felony assault.
How Cowboys is this?
Again,
what in the hell?
He is. If the Cowboys have if the Cowboys have this many problems, right? Brandon Aubrey is here. He is the least of their problems. It's just like, holy shit, this season is going to get flushed down the toilet. Like anything and everything that can possibly go wrong has gone wrong. And again, Brandon Aubrey can take his ass to the Star after jury duty and kick 75 field goals. He can get his work in. He's not a part of the game plan to stop Brock Purdy. Like, he's going to be fine. Like, this isn't an issue as far as like what his job is. It's just hilarious that, like, damn, of all things, a Cowboy selected for jury duty on a felony assault case that they're saying could go on and on and on and on and on. Okay, you know what? If Brandon Aubrey was standing right next to me, I wouldn't know. So, because my thing is, whoever selected the jury, like,
did they know what he did?
They no way.
But the lawyers are all entitled to know what people do for a living. They want to know.
Oh, okay. He can get his work in. I'm not worried about him getting his work in. It's just funny.
So I got through a bunch of jury processes years ago when I was in my late 20s. I was working at Mickey Radio up in the Metro 6. Got called down to jury duty. Figured I'd get out of there in an hour. I made the first cut. So they whittled down 200 to 50. Then they went from 50 to 25, and I made the 25. I don't know what the fuck's going on. Then they turned 25 into like 16. I'm like, wait a minute. And then so we got to the point where they brought all 16 of us into chambers, and both of the attorneys, it was like a truck accident case. And both of the attorneys on each side asked us questions. And one of the attorneys asked me, "What do you do for a living, sir?" And I said, I work in media. I didn't say I was a sportscaster. I said I work in the media.
You answered wrong on purpose so you could get the hell out.
They gave me my $8 for parking and a $5 sandwich voucher and told me to have a nice day. They didn't want no
played.
media member.
Well played.
How do you know? I mean, the kicker of the Cowboys. So according to the Star-Telegram, it's a strangulation case, a physical assault. Somebody got strangled. So he missed practice. He's expected to return back to court tomorrow and Friday and possibly even longer. And there is no timetable for the length of the trial, according to Matt Campbell of the Fort Worth Star-Telegram.
When do they fly to the Bay?
Saturday.
Okay, so he'll be fine.
So according to the Star-Telegram, the Cowboys apparently did try to reach out and pull Aubrey away from this, but he insisted on doing it.
It's his civic duty.
Also goes to show how the Cowboys ain't about winning. Harrison Butker, say what you want about his old school mentality. His ass ain't going to miss no game because they're about winning in Kansas City. They ain't about civic fucking duty. Now, so the good news for the team is a typical trial schedule won't get in the way of his availability on Sundays, barring a special circumstance, because they don't have court on Sunday unless it's the OJ trial or something, and they got to get it out of the way. He may have to fly to San Francisco Saturday night after he gets out, which is fine. It's not like Dak Prescott. It's so common. It's so Cowboys, It's just so freaking Cowboys, and
Again, it's not going to affect them.
It's another thing on what a fucked up season it's already been. We're not even at halfway point. It's already been so dysfunctional, so stupid.
That's why. That's the only reason why it's news is because it's just funny and it's on for this season. For this season,
right?
It's on brand.
Right. All right, let's get into some punches. It's People I Want to Punch, presented by the official law office of Orlando Kell. It's Taylor, live in Savannah, Georgia. Rudy's back home. DJ LG are back home. Do you got anybody you want to punch today, sir?
I got to punch Joel Embiid and Paul George. You know, Paul George signs a big deal with Philly in the offseason. Joel Embiid plays this summer for the U.S. team. Appreciate you, brother. I appreciate the gold. I'm a big fan of the Olympic basketball team. But, you know, you combine, you know, him saying like, oh, yeah, I'm not playing back-to-backs, and then now he may be out a couple weeks. Paul George signs a big deal. He starts the season out on the bench. It's just a bad look for the NBA. Like, again, like, you know, Joe, I want to be ready for April and June. Like, this is the most money. Like, nobody is getting the money that these NBA players are getting. We're talking 50, some guys $60 million a year. And because of Greg Popovich, Pop started this, but Pop started it because the players that he was resting had been to 17 finals and played 10,000 games. Joel Embiid's never even been to a conference championship. Joel Embiid's injuries are due to the fact that he is NBA fat. I'll take Joel Embiid's body every day and twice on Sunday. But for the NBA, like I said with Keldon Johnson, I was right. Y'all killed me. I was right. He looks great. Joel Embiid is NBA fat, and because he's 7 feet tall, his limbs can't take that beating. This isn't because he's played too many games. This is because he chooses to go through drive-thrus late at night. This is because he chooses to not be in shape. Punch that son of a bitch.
This is a tasty burger.
Yeah, punch that son of a bitch for not being a pro. I'm all for guys resting because the science has suggested that they need to. But say I'm never playing back-to-back and not be able to start the season?
Yeah. Well, the NBA is investigating.
Oh, they are?
Yeah, this just came down.
Oh, well, then punch both up. But punch them more than shit. Those punches look weak.
This is your boy Shams Charania.
What up, Shams?
The NBA is likely to begin an investigation later this week into the 76ers surrounding the player participation of Joel Embiid. Embiid didn't play in the preseason for what the team called left knee injury management. He didn't play in Wednesday's season opening loss to Milwaukee. He will miss 2 more games this week. He'll miss Friday against Toronto, Sunday against Indiana. It's typical for the NBA to review a team anytime a superstar player misses a nationally televised game per the player participation policy, because the NBA cares more about the networks getting a return on their investment than player safety. But they're going to investigate the Sixers. The NBA wants to know whether or not the 76ers are fudging the injury for Embiid, and I bet partly they are. But at the end of the day, though, I'm a capitalist, Rudy. And this whole crackdown by the NBA on player management, you want to punch Embiid for being soft or tanking games or whatever, that's fine. But that's their business. The 76ers are trying to get over the hump and win the finals. They bring in Paul George. They're desperate to win the championship. They've got the most overrated general manager of in my lifetime in the NBA, Daryl Morey. He's so terrible. And they're trying to get over the hump. But in defense of Daryl Morey, it's a capitalist society. You want to crack down on load management, I get that. But you investigate guys because they miss televised games is bullshit. That is horseshit. So if the 76ers were not on ESPN or TNT, then there would be no investigation. But because he misses a TNT game or an ESPN game, we're going to investigate. That is horseshit.
Mike, they pay billions for those games.
I don't give a damn. I don't give a damn. We have sponsors. If I'm sick, I'm sick. I can't do the show. Orlando's not going to get mad at me if I don't do a show because I'm sick. That's bullshit. I'm going to punch Adam Silver for being a big puss and You're going to investigate guys missing games? Then investigate guys missing games. You think guys are fudging injuries and teams are lying? Then go right ahead and investigate them. But don't pick and choose based on whether or not they're on natty TV. That's bullshit. And by the way, Punch Adam Silver, too, he said last week that they're getting the relationship with the Chinese government's improved and they're ready to start getting games back on television in China. Fine.
He said that?
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Let's just put a team in Beijing.
And our relations with them have probably at its worst ever. And he says that?
Yeah, I'm not anti-Chinese people. I'm anti-Chinese government. But the NBA bends over and takes it up the ass by Chinese basketball, who's, of course, run by the government because they're communists. And you bend over and you investigate ball clubs in a capitalist. We ain't China, Adam Silver. You may not realize it, but the United States, we're a capitalist society.
Stick your companies up her ass.
It's my fault for referencing. It's my fault for using that analogy. This is a capitalist society. I know. Maybe I've been in Savannah too many days now. I know you live up there in that uber liberal communist New York City. But companies should be able to do what they want. If I want to rest my superstar, I should be able to do so. And if you want to investigate me because you think I'm lying about it, that's your right too. But to do it only when he misses a national television, you don't give a shit about Joel Embiid's knee. You give a shit about You give a shit about the $2 billion Mickey's paying for the game.
My rebuttal to Embiid and the Sixers for that is, I'm able to pay you $60 million a year because Jeff Bezos decided to give us $3 billion. Like, it goes hand in hand. Like, if y'all don't want this, if y'all don't want us to investigate you, then let's lower the salary cap and y'all can cap out. Remember when we thought 20 million was a lot? You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, it goes hand in hand.
Yeah, I remember when Michael Jordan got $10 million and they thought the world was going to end in 1995. Jeez. All right. LG, you ain't punched nobody all week, man. How you doing okay back there? You've been quiet for a couple of weeks. How's LG doing?
He's
great. How you doing? You good? I like that hat.
Yeah. Thanks to Adrian at Fitted Threads for making it.
That's very
what
good.
up, Fitted Threads?
Nobody to punch. We good? Everybody's good?
Yeah.
Got that hat pulled down. Right, hide those faded eyes he's got every night.
I sent
I'm tired.
Yeah, funny story. I sent LG.
That pipe will make you tired.
Yeah.
That one hitter's got you tired.
Hey, LG, don't answer that. I sent LG a Instagram story today.
Yeah. What
and
story is that?
It was a dude that broke down his life moving to Bali. He was like, I'm paying $800 a month for this beautiful crib with food, maid service. Then he's like, my food is only costing me $500 a month. My transportation is costing me $80 a month. I love it here. So you do the math on that. He's spending about $1,500 a month for his bills, living in this villa with a maid service. And I was like, bullshit. I sent it to LG, and LG was like, no, dude.
Yeah,
it's
LG
true.
had his own grotto in his hotel room when he was up there.
But he said you could do that for like a month. Because after a month, you got to renew your visa, right, LG?
Yeah. You got to renew your visa. You got to leave the country and come back. And then after a while, they don't let you do it anymore. So if you want to live there, you got to get a sponsor from like an Indonesian company or something like that. Or marry someone.
And we get we need to get like Jollibees or somebody to post us up for a month and do shows there.
Well, they're Filipino, but yeah.
Oh,
but
oopsies.
$1,500 flight and $1,500 for living. I'd go over there for a month for $3,000.
Sure. Your wife could go
live
with
like
you.
a king
Chill.
with $3,000. You'd
absolutely.
live very well. Yeah.
Oh shit.
I've gone there for a month, not just Bali, but the whole country.
A month?
Yeah.
Yeah.
First two times I went were both 30-day trips.
Yeah.
I
Came
maxed
back
out
with
my
2
visa.
STDs, but he had a good time. Yeah, he maxed out a bunch of shit over there. Probably
still
got 2 or
paying
3
for
kids
it.
and that. Probably got 2 or 3 kids running around.
He said,
Yeah.
"I'm still paying for it."
I might need to call Orlando at some point.
Shout out to Antonio Barron. Finally caught up with all the episodes. I'm all caught up. Very good. Appreciate it. You can always watch our shows whenever you want to. And always the official family lawyer, though. Oh, it's at Orlando Kill. Do you need a family lawyer? Call Orlando 210-775-4995. You can email him directly. He brings us people I want to punch every single night. Want to punch your ex-old lady? Let Orlando do it for you, but don't do it for real. Let Orlando do it in court. OrlandoKillLaw@gmail.com. OrlandoKillLaw@gmail.com. No bear balls. I will not book my tickets to Bali on Priceline. I have learned my lesson. I will not ever do that. I promise.
Let me know when you're ready to go, Rudy, or we'll take your food show over there or something.
That would be cool.
Make a spinoff.
Hell
when
yeah!
He said that villa he was living in.
Oh, and you should have seen some of the ones that I had too.
It wasn't
Let's go do
one
yeah.
maid. It was like 4 maids.
Right.
Oh, yeah, they got a crew.
4.
And those maids usually live in the villa as well. There's usually like a maid's quarters underneath or like on the side.
Let's do Bali Bites. When's that show start? Yeah, man.
How about Global Bites?
Global Bites.
Oh, I love it. All right, show brought to you also in part by Texas Cheer Liquor. Rudy sent me this. He wanted to talk about Nicole Kidman's orgasms, apparently. I missed this story, too. I asked Nina if she heard about this, and she was unfamiliar. I'm calling bullshit on this.
What's the movie called? Good Girl, Bad Girl, something.
I don't know. All right, so
what is it?
I didn't know what you're.
And I got the story.
So, according to the most credible news source in America, TMZ, says Nicole Kidman says that her new erotic movie called Baby Girl was like an aphrodisiac, so much so she had to pause during sex scenes so she could stop having actual orgasms while filming the movie. She wasn't having intercourse, but I guess it was so erotic and it was so sensual, and the making out was so something. She kept coming, and had to tell the director, "I need a break."
Oh God.
Okay. All right, this sounds like this is a new way of promoting a movie is what it sounds like to me. So it says the Academy Award winning actress sat down for an interview with the London Sun Tuesday.
Okay.
Revealing some intimate behind the scenes details she experienced with her co-stars, a kid named Harris Dickinson, new young up and coming actor.
That is not his name.
It is. His name's Harris Dickinson. Harris Dickinson. And the veteran actor Antonio Banderas. In the flick, the 57-year-old Kidman channels Romy, a powerful corporate CEO who is married to Jacob, who's played by Banderas. But she embarks on a torrid affair with a younger intern named Samuel, played by Harris Dickinson. During the sex scenes with both men, Kidman said there was a lot of sharing and trust and then frustration, ordering the others not to even touch her at times. She also admitted she didn't want to, quote, orgasm anymore or have the two men come anywhere near her during periods of the shoot. Get the fuck out of here. She's coming just because Antonio put his hands on her back? Come on, man. How does Keith Urban feel about that? It takes me 45 minutes. Antonio Banderas comes in the room and we got to take a pause. Dang,
let me tell you why I'm calling.
Let me tell you bullshit.
Only reason why I'm going to call bullshit is because I watched another film with my wife with her that was like, I don't know, I think it was straight to Netflix, where she had she had a relationship with Zac Efron.
Mm-hmm.
Where they had multiple sex scenes. So Zac Efron's not making you come, but Antonio Banderas is. Get the fuck out of here.
So, I mean, look, man, I'm not some expert, but I'm 49-year-old man. I have a beautiful woman I live with. I
Hey,
like to think that I
easy,
like to think that
easy,
I
buddy.
have an idea, of how to do these things. But I mean, are there women who can think their way and like fantasize
Sure.
their way into an orgasm? Sure, but it is extremely rare. You're gonna tell me that you're so able to do that in a room full of directors and producers and tech people and PAs and cameras and bright lights being filmed. Just the idea of letting Antonio Banderas in the room with you. Okay, stop it.
Well, it worked.
Stop.
It made its way to in the building.
Sure. This is her. She's promoting the movie, man. Come on.
You don't think she
Cheap
was
way to
really
promote
having
the
real?
movie.
You don't think she was having real?
No.
Well, you got to keep in
No.
mind, she never had an orgasm with Tom Cruise. There's no way.
Is that what she said?
No, I'm just saying he's 4'6". He ain't making nobody come. Yeah, man. Tom Cruise ain't made nobody come ever in his life. Dude. Motherfucker 4'6". Hey, motherfucker ain't made nobody come. Keith Urban, he looked like he could hold his own. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Bare Balls is in here with all the Botox in her face. You couldn't tell if she was or not. Look, she's fine. She's a great actress. She's won Academy Awards. I've seen a handful of her movies over the years, but I just don't believe that. That's bullshit.
You're not well, it made it to 10. Look,
I know, and we're doing a segment on it, so it's fine.
No, I'm just saying it worked, but
it worked.
I'm with you.
It worked.
I'm with you though, because you're right.
Yeah.
I don't remember who they're at. I remember they were asking some actor on some podcast I watch, and they're like, "How do you not, get aroused?" And he's like, "Dude, you don't understand. I get on top of her. They yell cut. I get behind her. They yell cut. There's lights. There's 70 people in the room. He's like, the last thing you can do is get aroused. Like, it's not like what y'all think it is."
Right.
And
You're surrounded by dudes filming you, and you're in a studio and the lights are on you. No, man. AD's in here. Hey, it's about the motion of the ocean.
Hey, I live by that. That.
Yeah. Let's just say there's not a lot of Indian porn stars, AD. Wonder why.
First of all,
not men.
Are there not a lot of Indian porn stars? I don't know.
I've never seen one. Do they not pack much meat? I don't know. I'm asking questions. I don't know. As we lead into his life's blood. So I call BS on the whole thing. It's silly. You know what's not BS? The amazing sales at Texas Cheer Liquor. Oh, geez. Look at that. See. Texas Cheer Liquor. See. I don't know if it's going to make you orgasm, but the booze they got and the prices they got are great. They'll make you happy anyway, and they got several specials in the month of October, including really good wine hookups. We got that Woodward Cabernet, $9.99 a bottle, but normally it's like $18.99 or whatever. For the entire rest of this month, you can get it for $9.99. Also in the month of Spooktober, they've got scary good prices on Athlon Sauvignon Blanc. Normally it's $17.99 a bottle. For the rest of this month, you can get a bottle of Sauvignon Blanc, the Athlon, for just $4.99 a pop.
Those are crackhead prices.
Yeah, man.
Those are crackhead prices. The Lola 750s, $16.99 normally, almost $30, and that good old fashioned bourbon juice out of Austin, $39.99. The musician and the artist, but I want to say rolling out tomorrow. They got something new added to the Texas Cheer Liquor since Fernando Valenzuela passed to the pitching arsenal. They added something called the Lit Kit. Now, remember they had
look at that.
Yeah, remember they had the cocktail bags. The cocktail bags have done so well. They said, "Hey, let's up the ante. Let's do the Lit Kit." And if you look in those Lit Kits, you look closely. That's a big bottle of Svedka. That's a big bottle of pineapple juice. It's 4 or 5 shots in there. He's made up 3 of them tonight. I talked to him tonight on my way home. The Lit Kit is going to be a hit. Oh, I didn't even do that. I did that on accident. That's just off the top. The lit kit will be a hit. So be looking for those at your Texas Cheer Liquor nearest you for your Halloween parties this weekend. Lit kits hit the shelves tomorrow. They come with a little 5-pound bag of ice. Put the ice in there. Pour the mixers. Pour all the alcohol in there, and then there's a spout on that big pitcher. And then
I see it.
Yeah, you see the spout, and then you just pour it out. You put it up there on the table at your party.
Oh, nice.
And then we all get lit.
I love that. Dude, that's
Texas Cheer
genius.
Liquor. It is genius.
Look at that is pretty sweet. All right, it is Texas Cheer. And, of course, with all other purchases, make sure you mention us here In the Building.
Yes.
And then we'll give you 5% off all 7 locations. All right, you've got Slackers tomorrow night. What time y'all doing a deal? Let me know. Well, you'll let me know when y'all decide because I want to post it. 5 o'clock?
Between 5 and 7. Between 5 and 7.
Very good. All right, between 5 and 7, Rudy will be live from Slackers North Star Mall tomorrow night. Thank y'all for giving me the night off. You know, I'm out of town. We got stuff to do. I'll make up for it by doing a kick-ass show for us over the weekend, and we'll be fine. All right.
But you'll be back for Sunday night, right?
Absolutely, for sure.
Okay.
Absolutely. All right. Thank you to LG. Thank you to Rudy. Thank you to the people. I'm gonna go Mimi's. I'm on East Coast time. It's almost midnight here in the Garden of Good and Evil, which was filmed right down the street here in Savannah, Georgia. How about that for a segue out? Love you all hard. Thank you, everybody. See you on Twitter and the internets, but I'll see you on In the Building back again over the weekend. Make sure y'all watch Rudy and LG tomorrow night from Slackers. Get out there and celebrate Toss for Tatas night at the North Star Mall location. All right, y'all be good. I'm getting punchy. It's time to go CPs. Love y'all hard. See you tomorrow, guys. I'll be watching when I can. Thank you. Honk, honk.
This program was made possible by contributions from viewers and listeners like you. Thank you.
You're still here? It's over. Go home. Go.